Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast proudly presents to you another spectacular episode of 15 Minutes of Fandom. That's right. What we do with this segment is we actually take the spotlight and we actually put it on one wrestling fan that we feel at this moment stands out from the rest. With that being said, I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. You see, we have a special guest tonight. And not only is he a special guest, he's actually a wrestling fan like the rest of us here, myself, Kathy Knight, and Rob Bass, who couldn't be here tonight. Not only that, he's also a fellow pro wrestling podcaster. Everybody, welcome to the show, Factioncast Podcast. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good. How are you?
Great, great. Just here. Just got done watching the excitement that's NXT. It was a great card tonight. Had me at the edge of my seat. I thought the main event. In the main event, Noam Dar was actually going to pull it out. He was going to pull out the win. Pause. That's it. Pull out the. He was going to get the W.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Although he had his crew with him, at the end of the day, Carmelo was able to pull it off to get the W, and with a little help from some folks outside who saw the antics of Noam Dar's crew and decided to step in. So yeah. So tell us, man. You're a fellow wrestling podcaster like us. I've seen you've actually interviewed Tyree Taylor and also Vince Michael. I believe his name is Vincent Michaels, who's actually been on our show before as well too. How did it all start? How did you become a fan of professional wrestling?
I became a fan of pro wrestling during the Ruthless Aggression era, and I saw the SmackDown 6. I saw Edge, Ray, Kurt, a guy I can't speak of, but we know what you're talking about. Those other guys that were carrying SmackDown at the time. Their tag division was lit. Cruiserweight division was lit. They were doing what they were called, the cruiserweight they were called something, the cruiserweight scramble, basically. It was like a championship scramble, doing those. I was also a fan. I'm a huge TNA fan. Been watching it couple years. That's actually how I saw most WWE wrestlers. I saw Kurt Angle in TNA when he was Perk Angle. I saw Jeff Hardy in TNA, Matt Hardy in TNA. Some of the OGs like Abyss, AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett, who started the company, Jay Lethal. That's where I saw Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, Beer Money, etc. The list goes, Abyss, etc., etc. The list goes on and on and on. And that's how I became a wrestling fan.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. You actually started watching at an interesting and impressive time. You missed the Attitude Era, but you got to see the Ruthless Aggression Era, which had many big stars like John Cena, Batista. You had Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton. All of them started during that era, and we had many people got a second chance in the Ruthless Aggression era as well. Namely, Rey Mysterio got a second chance. We got to see. Well, I'd say Eddie Guerrero, but Eddie Guerrero was already doing his thing in the Attitude Era. He joined WWE in 2000, but it was a very impressive time, and I'll never forget it. Um, and I could imagine how it was for you, as a wrestling fan. So, who were some of your favorites you enjoyed watching when you started watching wrestling?
Obviously, like you said, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, that guy that won the 2004 Royal Rumble, um, Jeff Jeff Hardy, like I said, Matt Hardy, guys like that, Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar.
Awesome. Yeah, that was definitely a crazy time. So, did you ever get to go to any of the shows during that era, or you just watched it from home?
I mainly watched at home. Um, the first show I did go to was like, cause I was like a little baby back then. So, but the first show I did go to, I was a little baby. I went to the what was it? Oh seven Rumble. Yeah, I went to the oh 07 Rumble. I went to 32 Dallas, 38 last year. So I didn't go to any shows really like maybe you can count oh 07, but that was really like the tail end of it. But yeah, I went to a couple shows.
Cool, cool. That's awesome. So you said you went to WrestleMania 32.
Yes.
Wow, that was the one with Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker. That was a pretty impressive one.
Yeah,
I remember that
and
one.
when Zack Ryder won the IC title that
Yeah,
year.
I remember. I remember that one too. But I more yeah, but I will never forget that one because that was one where after a 6 year absence, Shane McMahon came back and he became like he pretty much like gave the Undertaker a run for his money. And although ultimately Undertaker obviously won because he's the Undertaker, he's not that easy to beat. But Shane McMahon proved to his father and to many of the fans that he could still go, and I believe the stipulation was if Shane McMahon had won, um, Undertaker would no longer compete at WrestleMania. However, Undertaker won. I think there was right when the night after when Shane was gonna leave, Vince McMahon was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let you. Somebody said, I'm not gonna let you make me look bad. You're hired, and then he had him become, I guess, the general manager for SmackDown or Raw. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting time. That was a pretty nice card you had. The New Day versus the League of the Nations. Chris Jericho versus AJ Styles. You had the Usos versus the Dudley Boys. That was a pretty good match. And you had uh, Team Total Divas versus Team Bad. That was another interesting one as well too. And then
Yeah.
of course you had what which I guess you could say was sort of a passing of the torch. Triple H versus Roman Reigns with Triple H, and this was Triple H's last reign as World Heavyweight Champion. He would ultimately get defeated by Roman Reigns. So that was a pretty interesting um that was a pretty interesting card as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I've only been to one WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania 28. So wait, I take it you live in Texas?
Yes. I do.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Man, you and my co-host Kathy, y'all would have gotten along great, man, because Kathy, she's over in Louisiana, but she normally I don't know if you go do you watch independent like indie promotions as well too, or just WWE and the big
Yeah.
leagues?
I watch indie wrestling. Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, she normally goes to like Reality of Wrestling and was this New Texas Pro? She normally goes to those
Yeah.
shows.
New Texas Pro. I know I ain't gonna say I know them, but I'm familiar with the promotions down here, Rally Wrestling, New Texas Pro. They just had Speedball Mike Bailey versus Brian Keith, which was a banger of a match. Banger. Um,
Yeah.
they got Pal Pro Wrestling as well. Brian Keith is killing it down here, man. He's one of the top prospects out of Texas. He's killing it all over. If you don't know who Brian
Yeah.
Keith is, you need to know for sure.
And if you know who Brian Keith is when he first started, you could definitely pat yourself on the back. I'm one of those people that knew of him like before he started getting popular because I remembered when he would be in reality wrestling. And I've been watching reality wrestling for 10 years now. Yeah, I was watching it back in
Yeah,
2013. I remember seeing him, do his thing there, and now he's traveling all over the country, and getting all these opportunities. I'm very happy for him as well. But y'all, honestly speaking, y'all got a lot of great shows down there. I got a lot of great talent down there too. You got people like Hyon, Stephen Wolf. You got Fly Def. You got Mysterious Q, who I had the honor of seeing wrestle here in New York, where I'm at last year. You guys have the Lockharts and Will All Day. You got a lot of great people down there, man. I'm actually kind of jealous. I'm like, Kathy gets to go to all these shows, and I mean, I could go, but I'd probably have to take like a plane ride to get down there. But yeah, y'all have a pretty interesting wrestling scene down there.
yeah, we do. I really appreciate it. And as far as my end, little cheap plug, but I am trying to get a couple of those guys to come on my channel for interviews. So if you subscribe to my channel, I am trying to get those interviews. I've sent emails out. Unfortunately, I haven't getting a response. But I'm not gonna self doubt anything. But I'm just gonna say, stay tuned. Who knows? Might have Mysterious Hugh on the show one day. So who knows?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have Mysterious Q on our show. Abel Andrew Jackson, and several other people. Diego De La Cruz. We had Kiefer Bartek, who's the owner of New Texas Pro, on air as well too. So we've been very fortunate. And
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. I'm like we as far as people on my end, we start putting those out. So, but I'm gonna say the plug-in for later. So, but I just had to get that out since you were talking about those guys. I was like, yeah, I've been trying to get those like guys like Fly Dill Full All Day, no serious Q on my show for a while. So we'll see what happens.
just keep at it, man. Just keep at it. So I just gotta ask you. Speaking of the podcast, man, how did it all start for you? Like, what made you decide? Okay, something. I'm a fan now. I want to go ahead and try my go ahead and try my hand at podcasting and so on.
So I was already helping out as kind of like a moderator, right? Per se, and that's like a behind the scenes guy. We were doing this thing, and I want to give a shout out. If they're watching, if they're not, they're not. But they're probably gonna watch it back. Hopefully they do. But they pop in, they pop in. I'll give them their shout outs. I'll give them their due. Shout out to Justin Del Rio, Dylan Broska, Dan, Josh, all you guys, man. We were doing this thing over on the Nerds of Wrestling Facebook group, which please join. I will plug that and subscribe to Let Freedom Ring. He's gonna have his. I thought I was gonna save the plug for the end of the show, but I had to say that. Let Freedom Ring, June 22nd is their 200 episode, and he will see me little cameo. But on Nerds of Wrestling Facebook page, all of us, like I said, Dan, Dylan, Josh, we were all doing Nerds trivia, and it was like a weekly thing. We were bringing people on to do trivia battles and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what, man, I'm tired of being like behind the scenes guy. I'm tired, just talking and behind the scenes about you guys. I'm gonna start my own podcast. And originally, I did have a weekly show called Wrestling Fans Unhinged. But I got rid of it because number one, doing the weekly show is draining. Number two, doing the weekly show with the wrong people. I ain't gonna say no names, but doing the weekly show with the wrong people could be draining. So I mean, just a lot of things we gotta figure out. But yeah, so that's how I got into podcasting. I don't do a weekly show anymore, but I do what I can. You're muted.
Sorry. I know how it could be with having, just with having a great vision, and but then not having the right team on your side too. I'm very fortunate that I have the team I
Well,
have.
that's really it wasn't really a team. Like I said, Dan are those guys. Those are good. It was just as they say, one bad apple spoiled the bunch. So we had to get rid of that one bad apple. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Trust me, I understand. But it's always a good thing when you have have like that one team where everybody's just flowing naturally, and they're just everything is just streaming perfectly and so on. Um, and I hope that ends up you end up things work out even better for you. You know, but yeah, I just gotta say, man, just keep on striving, man. I've seen two of your interviews. You got Vincent Michaels, and you had uh is it Terrell Taylor? Terrell Taylor.
Tyree Taylor.
Tyree Taylor. My bad, Tyree. Tyree Taylor, who and they were both actually he's actually a former reality wrestling tag team champion with Shane Taylor. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty impressive, and you're off to a great start. You've had Vincent Michaels was actually a member of a student at Black and Brave Wrestling Academy. He graduated from there, so that's a great start. You're out. You're that's a great start for you. So keep up the great work, man. That's all I can
Thank
say.
you.
Keep up the great work. You're doing very well, and as long as you want to do the work, everything will fall into place. There's going to be times where, I mean, you've probably seen where things are just like, WTF, what the fudge, but you just gotta like
Yeah.
just keep at it, and you'll thrive. You'll definitely thrive, and you'll look back at it and be like, you know what, that was just a growing pain, and I'm done. I don't feel that pain no more. I'm good. So yeah, that's pretty impressive what you're doing. So who are some members that you're looking forward to having? I know you said Mysterious Q and Brian Keith and so on, but who are some people that you're looking forward to having?
Like you said, Mysterious Q, Brian Keith. I'm in the works of getting future MLW World Champion Alex Kane on the show.
Okay.
We're getting that locked down. Um, I want to get another MLW superstar, Jacob Fatu. Not only him, but I want to get the whole Samoan SWAT team on my show. Hopefully we get that sorted out. Uh, like I said, Willa all day, Byron Reed, Flydale. Um, Bi, you had his manager on the other day. Biu, the
Oh, you talking
Nigerian guy.
about Boamir?
Yeah,
Boamir?
Amir. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We've had, so if you look at our YouTube channel, we had Nasco, but we also had Boamir a couple weeks before we had Nastico. So um,
yeah. So I want to get him on there. That's about it. I'm just starting off small with those guys because what I'm saying, they might be out of reach. They might not be. Who knows? But I'm just working my way up right now. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like work, 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 putting in the work, and you'll definitely get, who you want to get on. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but if I could give you some advice from myself to another podcast, and I rarely give advice, is just keep at it, man. Just keep at it. Stay motivated, stay positive, and everything will fall into place for you. I could tell you right now, there's going to be people that will say no. There are going to be people there are going to be people that will flat out say no. There are going to be people that will respond to you, and then they'll never respond to you again. They might say, "Yeah, I want to be on the show," but then you go back on there, and they're like, they still can't haven't read your last message that you replied to them with. There's going to be people that you ask to be on the show, and all they do is leave you on red. But just don't let that get to you. Just keep on striving and keep on pushing. And I always say to every one person that tells me no or leaves me on red or doesn't answer me, there's 10 other people to that person that will say yes, let's do it. And I've seen that happen. I remember that I had one wrestler who shall remain nameless. When I first started, when I first started Ringside Society, when we first started, first season, 2019, we asked her if she would like to be on our show. She was like, not interested. Sorry, not interested. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm Remy Blue. I got this. So later on that season, who'd I get? I got a woman who actually opened doors for that female wrestler. Her name is Princess Victoria. She's a former WWF Women's Tag Team Champion, one of the first tag teams to hold those titles back in the 80s. I got her to be on our show. And then afterwards, I got a month later, I got Heidi Lee Morgan, who also wrestled for WWE back in the 90s. So, just stay motivated. That's most I'll say to you, and you'll definitely thrive. But you're off to a pretty good start. So you'll be fine. You are off to a pretty good start.
All right, yes, sir.
Yeah. So the next, guys got a couple more questions. So like one or two. So the next question is, what are your next events that you're hoping to attend in the near future?
As far as right now, I want to go to SummerSlam in Detroit because that's on my birthday, August 5th. So I want to go that. I want to go to that. WrestleMania in Philly. I want to go to that because I'm looking at all my guys over there. Like I said, Dan, Dylan, Justin, Josh. I'm looking at all those guys. Pedro and True Entertainment off of Twitter. I got a lot of guys. The Bloodline Entertainment, Tim King, De Niro, all those guys. I want to link up with all those guys. I know they plan on being in Philly next year for Mania, so I want to link up with all those guys. So right now, that's about it. Depending on where Survivor Series is, I want to go there too because I want to mark off like I don't know, like I know people that have like a big four list. They want to attend every big four. So I already attended the Rumble. I was at the Rumble, like I said, '07. So I want to do like every big four. '07. You know what I'm saying? So I want to do a SummerSlam this year. Survivor Series, like depending on where it is and obviously the weather, because I don't like cold. But yeah. So right now, SummerSlam and Survivor Series. SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Mania in Philly.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been to 3 out of 4 of those. I've been to WrestleMania 28 back in 2012. I've been to SummerSlam 2018, and I've been to Survivor Series 2021. And all 3 of those were pretty great shows to go to. I just have to go to one more, and that's the Royal Rumble, and I would have officially gone to all the big four events, and that's it. Like if I never go to another WWE event after going to the Royal Rumble, I'll be cool with it. But yeah, just that one Royal Rumble, and that's it. And then hopefully eventually I get to go to like an AEW event. I've been to a Ring of Honor before, but hopefully I get to go to an AEW pay per view and also an Impact Wrestling pay per view, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm done. I'm good. I've pretty much done it all for somewhat. All right. So with that being said, my last question: where do you see the Factioncast podcast in 5 years?
Oh Lord, I am. That's a very difficult question to me because I am not the type of person where I look not even like a year ahead. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I think that's kind of a bad way to live life. You gotta live your life day by day because you don't know where you're gonna be at in 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You can be out on the street begging for change. Who knows? Like, so to me, it's just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be Factioncast Podcast, knock on wood, could be dead in 5 years. It could be gone. I can hit the lottery and wipe my channel away and be gone forever. Like, that's my dream, but I mean, less than 1% of people win the lottery. But, so, I mean, it could be gone in 5 years. I'm just enjoying the ride, man. That's it. Wherever it leads me, it takes. I hope it takes me to big things, but I'm just enjoying the ride right now. I'm not. I see you got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes shirt on, so I am not trying to finish no story because I don't know what story I'm writing, but hopefully the story finishes itself. Whatever happens, happens. Taking it one day at a time. That's how we all should take it one day at a time. Like I said, you don't know where you're gonna be in 5 years, 10 years. You could be a bum begging on the street 1 minute, and you can be in a mansion the next minute. You know what I'm saying? So 5 years, I don't know. I'm just enjoying the ride right now.
Awesome. Well, I definitely hope that you have many more years and many enjoyable years, successful years as a podcast. I hope you get to interview all the guys that you want to interview as well. You're off to a great start. So, like I said, the sky's the limit for you. Maybe not even the sky. You might go out there and just touch the moon and the sun as well too. Just don't burn yourself when you touch the sun. But anyways, um, I wish you nothing but the best. We wish you nothing but the best, and hopefully, when we get when we have our predictions episode, we'd like to have you back on for one of our as one of our guests. I know we're supposed to have we talked early couple days back before this weekend, and you wanted to be on one of our shows for the predictions episode, but it was a crazy weekend. Everybody was in three different. We were all in different places, so we barely even had time to do the Night of Champions prediction show. But what next time we'll definitely have you on, and we'll talk about who's gonna win and whatnot and everything, and so on. It's gonna be fun. But with that being said, before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling and check out your podcast and whatnot?
All right, you can check me out on Twitter at FactsCast1. Catch me out on Instagram, FactsCast1. Catch me out on Facebook under my real name, but I will not be releasing the information because Facebook is friends and family. But I will make a Facebook page for my podcast, so that's coming soon. TikTok, Factioncast Pod. Again, Factioncast Pod. Twitch, I gotta change my name, but Factioncast Pod. It says Factsum with an M instead of an N. But if you want to add me, go on there. I will be doing gaming and stuff like that soon. You can find me on Rumble at Factioncast Pod. Again, that's where Rumble. It's not like YouTube. I can do basically whatever the hell I want on Rumble. Use my language, but I can do more explicit content on there because YouTube. They're excuse me, YouTube. Don't take this man's video. That they're sensitive when it comes to certain things. So I want to do stuff on their TikTok. I will be doing stuff on TikTok as well. Maybe reviewing a match clip or adding my own little voiceover to something. Same thing on Rumble. I will be reviewing a match or whatever because again, I can't do it on YouTube because I'll get copyrighted. So, like I said, Twitter and Instagram, Factioncast One, uh, TikTok, Factioncast Pod, Twitch, Faction, should be Faction, but I got big fingers. I can't type worth the, you know what. But Faction Cast Pod, um, Rumble, Faction Cast Pod. We're getting that content out there. Spotify, all that same thing. Faction Cast Pod. I'm everywhere. Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff.
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard. He's just gave his social media links. Definitely go ahead and give him a follow. Check out his podcast. Hear what he has to say. He's hardworking and he means well and he's striving for excellence just like us. So definitely make sure you follow Factioncast Podcast as well. And like I always say, check out other podcasts. Don't just check ours out. I'm not gonna get just. I'm not gonna feel any way. Neither are Rob and Kathy nor uh, our Facebook admin Chris Alini or Albert Armageddon. Shout out to them as well too. Albert Armageddon is our Facebook mod. We're not gonna get just if you check out another podcast. As a matter of fact, we recommend it. I always say, checking out other podcasts, opening your mind to different podcasts and so on is like, opening your mind to cereal. I always say it's like eating different types of cereal. One day I might want some Frosted Flakes. The next day I might want some Cocoa Puffs. It's always good to have variety. So check it out. And it's always good to listen to other people's, opinions about something or views on something. Like some people may like the Bloodline storyline. Some people may hate it. Some people may think Jimmy Uso did the right thing and super kicked Roman Reigns at Night of Champions. Some people are thinking, Jimmy, let me call him the guy Jimmy Reigns. Jimmy Uso just signed his death warrant, super kicking Roman Reigns in the head. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's what makes the world go around. As long as they're respectful with it. So with that being said, make sure you follow him. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and an almost midnight snack. But before I indulge in those activities, if you want to find me on social media, now that I say a lot of cool stuff and whatnot, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. And we're also on Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, sweatshirts, even coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So definitely check us out. We have different designs. All proceeds from those sales go back into keeping our show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we have cool interviews like this one and many other great 15 minutes of fandom interviews. We even have like the crying CM Punk guy, peak CM Punk fan. He was on here. We had that one fan from AEW that went to AEW dressed as Scooby-Doo. The other guy that went to AEW that was dressed as Jesus. Definitely check out those interviews on Spotify and YouTube as well. All you gotta do on YouTube is type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really good-looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue things around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight.
Yes,
We
sir.
really truly appreciate it. Thank you. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should and could listen to.
All right, so
And
hold on. Before you end it, guys, I want to plug my guys. Go check out Josh, at Pyro_VT on Twitch. Go check out Dan Bullier. Let Freedom Ring with Dan Bullier every Wednesday. I think he drops a new episode. June 22nd, he's dropping his 200th episode. Cameo by me. Go check out Justin Del Rio. What's up, wrestler? Nerds of Wrestling. Nerds Trivia might be coming back. Who knows? But go join his wrestling group, Nerds of Wrestling. Go support whatever Eli's doing. Go support all the guys. Dylan Brasco, he's on the move. He just came from France, and he might be all in. He might be at all in. Who knows? That man is on the move 24/7, 365. Who knows? And of course, there's me. But hey, how can you forget about me? But I want to give my guys some love, man, for real. So not to
it's all
interrupt your
good.
ending monologue, but I want to give my guys some love, man. They deserve it. They've been having my back over these past 2 3 years, and I wouldn't be nothing without them. So love you guys. If you come back and watch this, I love you. No homo, of course, but love you guys.
All right. So definitely make sure you follow his friends as well too. And like I was saying, to those y'all that are gonna listen to us later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. And with that being said, we just want everybody to know that, you know, we're very well aware to everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. So with that being said, I'm gonna say it one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the hard-working Factioncast Podcast. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back later on this week with another impressive guest, more impressive guests on more impressive episodes. But until then, as a matter of fact, another thing I forgot. Dark Side of the Ring has started. I believe the first episode is tonight. The first episode is tonight. What we'll be doing this season, after every show, we will be discussing those episodes and what we think of them. If there is anybody, whether you follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, you're a member of our Facebook group, you subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitch, social media, if there's anybody that would like to be a guest for those shows where we discuss Dark Side of the Ring, feel free to shoot us a DM, an email. Our email is ringsidesite@yahoo.com. Feel free to shoot us an email, DM, anything, and we will definitely make time for you to be a guest on that show to talk about that Dark Side of the Ring episode. That's what I forgot. I know I was forgetting something, but yes. With that being said, we will be back with more impressive guests on more impressive episodes. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all to do for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.